Hey everyone, as you know, I have been uploading a video about the ship tier list, and now we have the weapon tier list of battlebay. Now this is about all the red guns. So if you want to play shooter, this is very important to you so that you know which weapons are good and which weapons are bad. Now these weapons right here, they are already bad, they are dead, no one uses them, and that is the Gatling gun, the standard mortar, the standard torpedo, and the multi-missile. These weapons are practically useless. And next up, we have the carronade. The carronade is a decent weapon, but you won't come far with it. Basically, you trade your firepower for it. So this is probably the only C tier weapon here. And then we have the cannon family first. Now this is very easy. We have the standard cannon, the blast cannon, the sniper cannon, and the explosive cannon. Okay, so the standard cannon, you're rarely gonna use this weapon, but it is higher ranked than the carronade. So you want to use the cannon instead of the carronade because the carronade is practically no skill and the cannon is skill. So this weapon is pretty decent. You want to use the normal cannon on ships that have low payload on weapons, such as the Defender. Um, it can work on Guardian as well. It's a great option for Guardian to use, for instance, a railgun with a standard cannon because you will always have a weapon that you can fire. So that is great. Then we have the sniper cannon, which is going to be put in B tier. This is one of my favorite weapons. It's high velocity, it's good in all ranges. It used to be way better, but because there are legendary perks in now, because before, from what I have heard, we didn't had these legendary perks, so the sniper cannon is gonna put in B tier. It's higher ranked than the standard cannon, which is logic. Um, in order to make this weapon successful, you need to have crit perks, so that's why I put it in B tier. And if you play on low league, this weapon is probably gonna be in D tier as well because it's just practically useless without crit perks, so keep that in mind. Then we have the blast cannon, which is gonna be put in A tier. The blast cannon is a solid weapon and it can do really high damage. I had a Mark III legendary blast cannon, and man, I took out way too many forces with it. It's just an amazing weapon. Nothing wrong with it. Then we have the explosive cannon right here. Oh, come on. Yeah, there it is. The reason I rank this so high is because this weapon takes 2 slot points and it's difficult to use versus the sniper cannon, which is pretty easy to use. This weapon takes up 2 slot points and it's pretty difficult weapon to aim, but you will get used to it. This weapon is for close range. Unlike the blast cannon and the sniper cannon, those are for mid range and long range. This one is extremely short range because it's just extremely difficult to hit at long range. You can hit it at long range, but it's very difficult, so I do not suggest you do that. Then we have the mortar family. The mortar family is decent. So we have first the long range mortar, which is going to be put in C tier. I personally think that the ballpark mortar is higher ranked than the long range mortar, which is this one. Because it's a better finisher. Keep in mind, this is just me, but I personally think that the ballpark mortar is in some cases better, so B tier, just like the sniper cannon. I didn't expect that we would have more C tier weapons, but I'm glad with it. Then we have, of course, the Big Bertha. I personally think we should put this one on A tier because later on it gets really hard to aim and you need some skill for it. so we put it in A tier. The missile and grenade are definitely gonna be S tier, but these weapons can be pretty difficult to use. Next up, we have the torpedoes. Now, these are pretty decent weapons as well for defense as offense, but they can be pretty difficult to use. So first we have the Swift torpedo, which is actually way better than the standard torpedo. So we're probably gonna put this one on B tier or C tier. I'm not too sure about it. I'm actually gonna put it on B tier because it's just so fast. You can't really dodge it, so it's a decent option for both beginners and advanced players. Then we have the triple torpedo, which is gonna be on A tier. It's a really good weapon and pretty overpowered if you put wildfire on it. The last weapon is big torpedo. This one hit like a truck, and if you don't dodge it, it can deal massive damage. So that's the reason why I put it there. It's also immediately the most difficult torpedo. The most easy one here is probably the Swift torpedo and the triple torpedo. Next up, we have the special weapons. Now, these are just weapons that I think that are just way too different to put in a category, so I decided to make a special category for them. It's the railgun and the mine. Now, these are really good weapons, and both deserve S tier. And some people might disagree with me, but the mine can be used to block off roads, and everyone uses them almost. Some people say mine is ineffective and is not useful, but I believe that is not true. That's just because people don't know how to play it. And the railgun is just amazing. It's just way too overpowered, so that's why I put it in S tier. Depending on how long the range is of your enemy, that's also how much damage they will get from the railgun. So if they are close, you get very low damage. So don't use railgun at close range, only if you want to finish people. Now we have the fire family, aka the incendiary weapons. These are the last 3 weapons in this list, and personally, they are all really good. So I'm gonna rank the flare gun probably on S tier because every ship can use it. The firebomb will probably get B tier, but I'm not too sure about it. It depends actually on the situation, so we're both gonna put them in A tier. So this is my ranking list. Personally, the firebomb is in some situations better than the napalm launcher, but the firebomb can also easily be evaded versus the napalm. It's actually really good against plasmas. So this is my ranking list, and these weapons, just don't use them at D tier. Don't use those weapons. Use the C tier weapons instead, or the B tier weapons. And now I will rate every single weapon in this list by how difficult they are. These weapons in the upper ranking, the -2 star difficulty and 3 is max, so that's the highest difficulty you can get. Big torpedo is 3-star difficulty, so this one is 2. Grenade can be 3-star difficulty, so I'm gonna rank it as 2-star. Missile is 3-star difficulty. Flare is 2-star difficulty. The explosive cannon is 3-star difficulty. The railgun is 3-star difficulty. Napalm, well, that's just self-explanatory. That's just 2-star. Blast cannon is 2-star. Big Bertha is 3-star. Triple torpedo is 2-star. Firebomb is, well, actually 1-star. It's not that hard to hit. Sniper cannon is 2-star. You need to have very long range aiming in order to use it. The ballpark is just 1-star. It's not that really hard to aim. This one is also 1 star, so these are really easy weapons. Standard cannon is 1 star. Carronade is 1 star difficulty. Long range mortar is 1 star difficulty. And these are just garbage weapons, so we don't care. Now, that was my tier list video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.